Welcome to Think and Grow Exponentially. My name is Mark. We learn a lot from our surroundings, the people who raised us, the environments we live in, and the events we encounter. All of these experiences can help us become good, but how to become great. In this video, I will share with you how to go from good to great. Before we dig deeper, I want to share quotes from two individuals I admire. Charlie Munger, a billionaire philanthropist and author of Poor Charlie's Almanac, and Carol Dweck, a psychologist, professor, and author of Mindset.
Without lifelong learning, you're not going to do very well. You're not going to get very far in life based on what you already know.
In other words, if you want to achieve greatness, you must never stop learning. Just because you finish school as a young adult does not mean learning stops. You still have several decades to live, and you must continue learning to get further in life. So, what does it mean to be a lifelong learner? Carol Dweck sums it up well in this quote.
You have to apply yourself each day to become a little better. By applying yourself to the task of becoming a little better each and every day over a period of time, you will become a lot better.
The practice of learning every day to improve yourself is what Charlie Munger calls a learning machine. I became a learning machine by being hooked on specific topics throughout my life.
Here is a timeline of how I went from good to great during different stages of my life. In the next few slides, I will share more about how I became fixated with athletes, history, success, and perspectives, and what lessons I learned from them. Here are my favorite childhood athletes growing up: Patrick Ewing, Jerry Rice, Barry Bonds, and Wayne Gretzky. Not only did I read biographies about these athletes, but also a ton of others, including Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaquille O'Neal, Walt Frazier, Steve Young, and Joe Montana, to name a few. Instead of checking out fiction books at the library, I spent most of my time studying athletes. What I learned from studying all these athletes is that they persevered through challenges, were devoted to working very hard, and recognized teamwork was vital to success. I applied what I learned from studying athletes to my own life, overcame challenges like poverty, worked hard in school to get accepted to the world's best universities, and collaborated with colleagues to become a better teacher. During my teenage years, I was fixated with American history, especially during periods with great hardship: slavery and the Civil War, the Great Depression and World War II, and the Civil Rights Movement and Vietnam War. I spent a lot of time studying not only the events that occurred during these periods, but also the individuals who shaped the period, like Abraham Lincoln, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Martin Luther King Jr. As I read more and more about each person, movement, and war, I learned three things from these historic periods about decision making. 1. Don't let problems escalate, otherwise, tough decisions will need to be made. 2. When faced with a tough decision, think about the possible outcomes that may occur if you succeed or fail. And 3. Do what you believe is the right decision and follow through with it. Once I started making money after college, I became obsessed with studying success. The first book that caught my attention was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Many of the financial literacy lessons I learned from this book I never learned in school or from my parents. The author also emphasized the importance of making money work for you rather than you just working for money. As a result, I picked up the book One Up on Wall Street to get a better understanding of how to invest in stocks, so that the money can work for me. The author is one of the greatest investors of all time and made learning how to invest in companies easy to understand. I strongly recommend this book for any beginning investor. Over time, I was addicted to learning how to become a successful investor in the stock market. This includes spending hours daily reading websites and books, watching videos, listening to podcasts, and calculating values. The greatest investors also helped me recognize that success in other aspects of life are equally important. This includes happiness, personal growth, relationships, and giving. As you can see from these 4 books, becoming a learning machine creates a snowball effect. Learning financial literacy from Rich Dad, Poor Dad led to learning about the stock market from One Up on Wall Street, which in turn led to learning about personal growth from Think and Grow Rich, and learning how to improve relationships from How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Last but not least, I spent a lot of time studying perspectives as a professional. In my first year of teaching, I made it a priority to hang out in the main office every day and spent the summer chatting with a recently retired teacher. This interest in perspectives eventually expanded to working with veteran teachers on designing math curriculum, going on long carpools and walks with colleagues, and sharing my Saturdays and summers mentoring prospective teachers. My growth as a teacher exploded with the wisdom and perspectives I gained from all these experiences. Personally, I don't think I would be where I am at today without them.
In summary, be a learning machine and lifelong learner. It will help you go from good to great. I know I became better at all these skills because of my continuous interest in studying athletes, history, success, and perspectives. And I'm not done learning.
If you like what you saw today, please don't forget to like and subscribe below and tell your family and friends about this channel. Thanks for watching, and remember, think and grow exponentially. Take care.